The man accidentally found that the charger connector was aging when charging. But not only did he not care, instead he stuffed it into the suitcase. It was soon pushed into the dark cargo hold. Soon after, the plane took off completely. Nobody knows. The illegally placed power bank is quietly heating up. Today we will talk about the latest high-altitude disaster in 2026, deep sea. Soon the plane entered the clouds smoothly. And after the students who have observed the takeoff operation leave, the captain couldn't help but question the co-pilot Ray. Why is the other party performing so badly today? Ray also admitted that there is indeed something in his heart. It turns out that his son was recently diagnosed with a terminal illness. The wife wants him to spend more time with the children, but Ray chose to avoid by working overtime. It seems that as long as he don't return to the ground, he don't have to face the cruel reality. Little do he know that this time the sky will not give him another chance to escape. Soon the clothes in the luggage were slowly lit with non-staple food, and there was smoke coming through the cracks. It soon morphed into a tiny fire snake. And this time, the abnormal temperature warning of the cargo hold was finally triggered. Seeing this, Ray quickly activated the fire extinguishing device. Then he suggested that it was best to land nearby immediately for inspection. The captain quickly agreed to the plan. Then sent 2 students down to confirm the situation. He started contacting the tower at the nearby airport. The reason why they are so nervous. Just because the lithium battery catches fire, the temperature is high. At the same time, everyone in the cabin is still unaware. Couple Enron and Alan are feuding. Can't stand us, Alan just got up and left. Come to the toilet to sulk and avoid troubles. On the other side, Julie looked coldly at her mother and stepfather. She has always been resistant to this reorganized family. The two were also a little uncomfortable being looked at by each other's eyes. She can only quietly walk into the toilet one after another and continue to be warm. Leave the younger brother OG of one father and one mother to him to take care of. But Julie doesn't want to take care of each other when they are young. Life is quick. Only Julie's parents were knocked out by the turbulence. To prevent hypoxia, soon after, the plane finally descended to a low, oxygen-rich altitude. The Airport Alliance broadcast the situation to passengers and reassured them to connect to the nearest airport and prepare to land. But they didn't breathe a sigh of relief. And the two of them also felt that the plane was gradually getting out of control, and they realized that they were not going to be able to land at the airport. Just give it your all. Forced landing below? The sea that happened to pass by. The duo quickly informed passengers of their plans for the accident. Then the plane turned around in disarray. The plane quickly dragged the smoke towards the dark sea. The passengers can only keep bathing in their hearts after listening. And Julie can't help but get up and go to find her family. Decided to die together. But then she was dragged back into the arms of the flight attendant. At this moment, the two of them are still trying to manipulate the flight angle. No lights. There's no runway. With no reference, they can only try to lift the camera. In the next second, the plane crashed into the sea under strong control. Of course, there are a few survivors who are completely trapped. The disintegrated fuselage at this time has been forcibly torn into 3 pieces in this disaster, scattered within the range of white rice at the crash site. And this group survives without knowing. Now their nightmare has just begun. First, in the forward cockpit, Ray called his unconscious partner. Just because the windshield is full of cracks. The sea is getting dirty little by little. Outside the door, Julie Penny, the flight attendant who grabbed her, survived. After a little reassurance, she quickly opened the door to check, found out that Ray was constantly trying to rescue the captain. It turned out that Captain Foot happened to be stuck and couldn't move. Penny's current situation quickly stepped forward to help. The captain finally woke up after the wound was torn. The windshield was creaking under the seawater. After learning of the situation, the captain asked his crewmates to rescue the other survivors. Don't waste time on himself. Ray also knew that what the captain said was reasonable. He can only bear the sadness and pull Penny away. Start trying to heal a long-dead companion. And the passengers who died on the other side, and you get caught by a giant piece of coral glue. So she managed to get upstairs just in time. Looking at the rising water, realizing that something was wrong, Alan quickly reminded everyone to step back, but the people who were still in shock paid no attention to him at all. As a football player, Kevin is even more irritable, saying that it is not his turn to command. The next second, now the passengers finally agreed with Alan's point of view. They all walked back to the water to lighten the load. Watching the coach and players walk back, Kevin had to shut up and stop talking. And the same is true of the camouflage on the other side. Watching the water level rise, terrified OG kept gasping for breath. Several people saw this and hurriedly appeased. If this continues, the oxygen will soon be exhausted first. But in the next second, the atmosphere shook violently. The harsh sound of metal friction is terrifying. Maybe the next moment they will be completely in the abyss. Matt knew this wasn't the way to go. He remembers that the big hole smashed is succeeding the throne, decided to try to swim out of there for rescue. Matt dove in with one breath, soon found the broken hole, swim back to the surface without a hitch. But the sharks didn't wait for Matt to call for help. The body is instantly dragged back into the water again. Only a short umbrella is left on the sea. The remnant, witnessing his friend die after being attacked by a shark. Kevin was furious and allowed Alan, who had suggested getting into the water, to die with him. The two sides. Under his organization, everyone has finally become orderly. Ray finds another rubber boat and is able to transport the survivors. Ray, who is stable, asks about the tracking device that was lost from Alex's grasp. But suddenly they heard screams for help from a distance. But this move also attracted the shark. Watching deep-sea creatures swimming around, Alan hurriedly shut up and didn't dare to make any more noise. Seeing this, Ray quickly planned to go to the rescue. But Alex, who was worried about his own safety, frantically blocked him. Now Ray couldn't help but punch Alex until he fell down. The surrounding punishments also condemned this selfish person. Alex, who was not popular, did not dare to say more when he saw this. They swiftly swiped over on the life valve, successfully pulled the duo up before the shark attack. On the other hand, the water level in the other plane's cabin was getting higher, but they still couldn't wait for Matt's rescue. The left knows it can no longer sit still. They have to swim out now. But they only found 2 inflatable life jackets. After hearing this, the old lady directly chose to stay. Due to her advanced age, her physical strength cannot support long-term diving. Walking together will only drag down the companion. The flight attendant revealed tearfully that she would definitely come back to save her. Then she took OG into the water. The 2 men zipped through the twisted seats. But just as they was about to swim out of the hole, Matt's body almost drowned them both. Fortunately, the left wing pulled the inflatable rope in time. Life jackets quickly brought them both to the surface. Fortunately, there is a life valve that has not been opened not far. Seeing this, she quickly excitedly pulled it away. But just as they were about to board the rubber boat, They were terrified and swam desperately towards another lifeline. They are afraid that they will eventually die. And Alec's previous little selfishness, finally, at this moment, it became a naked hatred. Surprised by the shark, he pushed the victim who was helping him hard. He gave herself the fatal blow behind her. The crowd was furious, but to no avail. And what they're doing is being watched by a fishing boat that just happens to pass by. They immediately turned on the lights and whistled for Ray to use them. Hastily fired a flare in response. But the captain who was called for help did not act rashly. They can only survive and carve out that area for themselves. Ray immediately understood their intention. But just as everyone is ready to act, but suddenly realized that Julie had disappeared. It turned out she had fallen into the distance when her boat had just capsized, so she could only swim to the side of the nearly sinking plane to avoid the shark attack. Ray immediately jumped into the water without hesitation. Fortunately, he swam over without a hitch. Now put the life jacket on, Julie. Then tie the two together with a belt. Then he carefully dived into the water again. But on the way back, sharks begin to surround Ray and Julie. And finally, the captain found a shark on the surface of the sea.